Welcome back to Project Ozone 3, and as in Satisfactory, the platform must grow, and this factory must grow. In this case, the sieves must grow. So yeah, we're up to a 5x5 array, much faster at actually processing stuff. And if you're wondering what's happened with the stone floors, there is just a point to actually show you in mod options. Item physic. Yes, there is a mod here called item physic. It doesn't really mention much about what it actually does, but bear in mind, if you drop torches or anything flammable, like for example if you sieve, I don't know, maybe 10-20 stacks of dust, you will start getting blaze powder, and if your inventory overflows, the blaze powder will fall onto the floor. And as soon as something falls onto the floor, item physics takes over and says, hey, is it flammable? Oh, you bet. And, well, you start to get a few fires, let's put it that way. So I've got rid of that and started to replace this floor with stone. I don't have anything for the building gadget swap mode yet because that needs power, and we're not up to power just yet. Anyway, 5x5 sieves. Let's get on with just showing the rest of this. So there's no real upgrades here. We're just using the same tier as before. I'll show you that in a second. Basically, manual storage drawers, no sorting around the back whatsoever. We don't have anything that can do it yet. So you can see there's no kind of conduit system down there. There is just basically these two furnaces, which is the furnaces we had last episode, wrapped in iron, then wrapped in gold. To get to the gold furnaces, 2 hoppers into a chest, and then occasionally I come in and clear this out. And then I've just got some manual drawers here. So we have iron, gold, copper, tin, lead, silver, and also zinc. More importantly, I needed the zinc for something. I needed it for the hammer plate thing. This crushing table from Magneticraft. We needed zinc, but we also needed anvils, which need blocks of iron, which you can't just do 3x3 iron. So we have to get into a new mod there today. Well, not a new mod, but Tinker's porcelain version of Tinker's anyway. However, I did do the usual Tinker's tables, made some flint tools, straightforward, nothing worthwhile putting on camera, and then made these crates from Actually Editions, which are remarkably good. Versus the double chests, which are not quite as good, let's put it that way. But yeah, so we got quite a lot of stuff to do. Some important tips that are things I forgot last episode. One, I'm not seeing the comments to the last episode yet, so bear in mind, I'm not replying to comments here. I'm just talking about stuff I missed. One is the 3 gravel recipe for flint. You could have got those quite easily. Also, you can compress in your inventory using whatever keyboard combination it is, but for me, it's Shift K. And you will basically be able to compress rather than put everything into a 2x2 crafting grid quite easily. And then you can then go and process those things up here. These feed into the top of these furnaces. I do need to craft the furnace upgrades. So yes, before you say, there are upgrades here. So if we do at furnace, there are these. Particularly the efficiency upgrades, doubles the fuel efficiency. In fact, should we just do that now? Oh, we need nether quartz. Never mind. So I need to craft those. Ore processing upgrades, interesting, doubles ores, and that needs, again, the same thing. Liquid fuel, not concerned with that. Electric fuel upgrade, not concerned with that. Cook speed will be good, but again, we got all of this stuff apart from the nether quartz, and we can, no, we can get that. We can get soul sand. We can go through witch water to get soul sand. So we don't need much nether quartz for this, so that's one option. So yeah, over here, let's talk about the wood. I just basically, if it's worth doing one, it's worth doing 10 of them in a Kappa mode pack. And I played Project Ozone 2 Kappa mode, so I am somewhat aware of it. I've got our infinite water source here, and then we've got all of these. These are just outputting into a single box each, 2x2, and we've got plenty of stacks of oak wood, as you can see at the tooltip at the top of the screen. The top is doing something entirely different, and it's currently stacked up. It's backed up, I should say. Normally, all of those would look empty, because what they're actually doing is feeding down into a hopper. The hopper's feeding into a wooden barrel, which is composting stuff, or will be if they weren't backed up. That then outputs to hoppers again, which feeds down here and into this one basic drawer, which at the front is producing earth. I've got nearly 4 stacks of earth now. So everything is proceeding well there. The rest of these are manual, apart from this, which is just the same thing we had last episode. And then just a few 2x2s for just various containers. I'm getting ready for liquids over here, but liquids have got some other issues we need to get to first. Namely, we need to get some porcelain. So if we have a look at our quest, you'll see one of these quests down here. And by the way, my policy and quests are that I'm going to claim them off camera if they just contain racks. So if there's no actual item reward to them whatsoever, just these racks, and I'm just using this elite bin we got last episode, then I'm just going to claim them off camera. There's no, it's not exciting at all. So down here, simply Tinkers, and this is Tinker's Complement. I couldn't remember what the name of it was, and we need to make the porcelain versions of those. So I'm going to get those set up, easy enough to do. You just need lots and lots of porcelain, porcelain brick, it looks like, which is going to be just presumably just cooking up porcelain clay. And I've already made some porcelain clay, so I'm going to get that done. There you are, unfired porcelain. So yeah, I'm going to actually go through and produce those bricks. Back in a second. Should have mentioned, by the way, the reason this backs up like this is because the hoppers will take anything from the boxes at the top, and they include things like this that we can't actually compost. So every so often you can go through, get lots and lots of stacks. It's intentional this way. I've not got anything that can really overflow out of hoppers, so I just have a lot of source of sticks and wood just building up top, in addition to all this stuff down the bottom. We will, of course, highly compact that when we get the chance to. And this basic drawer is already full, so I'm clearly going to need another drawer full of wood for the time being, or throw it overboard, either way. So yeah, it's all working just fine. Anyway, I'm on to the porcelain stuff. Okay, early tinkers, so I'm going to make a few of these bits and pieces, like that, and like that. We can get a couple in there. That's a tank, and I'm just going to take those out for now. And I also, is that not the recipe for that? The heater melter? Oh, is it a tank in the middle? Porcelain tank. So we made 2 tanks to make a melter. Fine. Those can go back. There we go, a melter, and then of course we can just make the 2 sort of recipes here that we're going to want. One is a casting table, the other one is a casting basin, and we're probably going to need more tanks here, so I'm just going to actually put those in, get a few more pieces of glass. Yes, quick tinkers, and there we go. Get 2 more tanks, one of which is going to get converted into a second melter. So as normal with the tinker stuff, or at least the early tinker stuff, we're going to want to have the tanks be basically where the lava is being provided, and I'm going to put them, I don't know, maybe there for now. Then we're going to put one casting basin on one side and a casting table on the other, put both of the melters on top. That's the wrong way round. Is it? No, it's not. That's fine. And then porcelain faucets that you have to actually make the unfired version of, and then you can fire them and everything works. Hopefully that's going to all work fine. I am short of a metal bucket, which means I'm going to have to sacrifice a bucket for this. Your sacrifice is not in vain. Let me just actually get a couple more buckets made, because I'm probably going to need to fill this. Oh, those are flower pots. I don't want to make flower pots. I will go. You have to make an unfired bucket first. Fine. I'm going to take this one over here, because there goes my bucket. Because the first thing I need is actually to make some iron. I need to make some iron blocks, specifically 3 of them. So we can make those from the iron ore blocks here. If it's going to be 9 as normal, we want to divide by, 7,963. Obviously, we get 7 blocks out of it if it doesn't double. I assume it's not going to double. And of course, this thing is so small capacity, it's going to take an age to actually melt things up. So we're going to want to have a couple of hoppers. I should put some more in the containers over there for hoppers. And we will have them sticking out either side, like wings. And that will do for very, very early game setup. In fact, I don't want one there. There we go. So that's going to start cooking down iron ore. It's going to make us our iron chunks. They're going to let us, iron blocks even, going to make us make an anvil. The anvil will then let us make the crushing table, because we've got everything else. We've got planks and zinc, etc. And that will then let us make iron plates, which will then let us make an almighty metal bucket. Yes. Lots of progression, quite quickly, but hopefully everything is being followed. Hopefully you're enjoying the pack as well. If not, let me know, or if so, let me know down below. And if, of course, you're not subscribed, you feel free to. And, of course, you can like and click on the bell for notifications of more episodes like these, or indeed the upcoming ones from Terraria, Eco, and a few others that I've got planned. If you've seen any other games that you want to actually see covered, do let me know. They may not all be to the audience's preference, but hey, we're more than happy to hear suggestions. One thing I did change my mind on pretty quickly is the use of diamonds to make builders' wands. Not because of the builders' wands themselves, because this platform isn't huge yet. And Building Gadget does a better job of that, to be honest, once we got some power. But because of its use in combination with a hammer, that one's almost dead. This one is brand new. Let me just actually demonstrate. So if I just go and grab I don't know how many stacks, we've got 20 stacks, that'll do. Okay, so if I want to get all of these in here, that'll do, compress cobblestone, and I want to quickly hammer them down, then I can just put them down like this. You can do them however you like, but I will normally do multiple stacks of compressed cobblestone here, not just one like this. But you can see I've got this set up, so I can just literally do all of that, and that's all of them placed, and that's all of them then hammered into gravel, which of course we can immediately convert down into metals, or we can go down further into dust. And that's the thing that sets fire to your base. So be careful. But yes, I'm very, very happy with the use of the diamond wand. And of course it does help build platforms as well. So all pretty good there. There's our crushing table. Got the anvil and everything else. And we're all going to need the magnetic earth hammer, which I don't remember the recipe of. And is already just any hammer. Let me just try my existing ones. The stone hammer should do the job. Let's use this iron hammer just in case. Put this down wherever I like. I don't remember it having any special requirements. Hopefully not causing any sort of fires. I'm going to need some... there's some rack from my Tinker's Construct. I'm going to need some iron. Let's get 9. That's 3 buckets if that's the case. And... yes, that does actually work. Can we... I wonder, can we, were we over here, can we get an iron hopper and just use, iron hopper. There is a wooden hopper, but I don't care. Can we feed them in? No, that's a shame. Oh, well, never mind. I will just make those up into iron plates. Once they're into iron plates, you can easily then make buckets, which is exactly what I want. So I'm going to convert these over. And there is a shortcut. If you use the hammer in your inventory, it seems to just pick up the next ingot. So you don't need to do anything else except hold down right click. Good job, mod author. And this means, hopefully, buckets. Yes, iron buckets, which means infinite water amongst other things. Also, be able to port lava around is actually a good idea. This crucible is terribly slow, but we'll be speeding up shortly. In fact, can we do that now? We either need... there are multiple ways of doing this. So if you look in Crucible, is there a particular thing that shows the heat sources? There is. So Blaze Mesh, 30 times plutonium. We're not anywhere near there. Awakened Draconium, no. Heat Sand is in the nether, so that's 120 times. That will be great. We're stuck on probably... well, I don't have a container for lava just yet. We could get to it as if you like. I'm just using a torch right now. That's terribly slow. Let's speed it up to 20 times with Yellorium. I don't have any way of creating... I don't have a factorizer. And that is redstone. That's red iron. Well, that's doable. Lead, device frame, iron gears. Iron gears we can make behind us now with a casting, hopefully, once we're able to make a gear cast. And then a device frame, which is a copper gear. So technically we could make the factorizer. I'm just wondering, can we actually just cast... can we just cast out the stuff itself? That's going to have to be emptied. But other than that, maybe? Question mark? I may have to try it. Anyway, the stuff we want is Yellorium, and it comes from... let me just actually take a look. It comes from just Sieving. So you can get it like before. It doesn't actually show up here at the top of the screen, but you do get it from Sieving. In fact, no, hang on, it's not this part, it's this part. This is the part that comes from Sieving. So Sieving Sand will do the job, and you'll get Yellorium. I'm up to iron stiffen mesh, so 12.5%. One thing I wanted to say about stiffen mesh, I'm almost certain it's a typo. If not, then there's something weird. Everything goes up in drop chance from one tier to the next tier to the next tier, apart from gold. Gold seems to drop 20% chance to 10% chance. Maybe it's intentional. If it isn't intentional, it's a bug, and that would be nice if it was fixed. Because it's 20, 20, and then it drops to 10. Yeah, so anyway, aside from that little niggle, we will just get this sorted out. Let me just put that away. And we've got everything we need. So I've got buckets. We now can make infinite water. Few options. Sinks. The sinks aren't really automated, if I don't remember right. Terracotta, which we just need clay cooking up as the block form. Perfectly fine. But it will replace that sort of, 4x4 block with the single 1x1 block. So that's nice for that kind of approach. If it is indeed infinite water, you never quite know. Some packs remove that. There is also a block called infinite water block, but it's quite slow, but it's probably what we need to actually do for automating recipes. So 20 millibuckets per tick of water constantly. It's 20 ticks per second, so that is a few seconds per, well, two and a bit seconds for a block of water. So that's okay, so it's worthwhile doing, but you can combine multiple of them around bronze in this case, and that will then basically multiply the speed by 8. And then you can do it again, so it will then produce 1 1/3 or 1.28 buckets per tick. So we're not going to need that tier just yet, but having the first tier will be useful, which you need 2 water buckets for, and this basic plating. This is something you want to just get by getting some coal, and we should be able to hammer the coal into graphite dust. Let me just take a sip of apple juice. Oh, and one other thing you will get from sieving as well is these candy, raw candy. You can convert them into hardened rock candy, which you can then convert into a candy dispenser with, which is basically like food that you can walk around with. But I've got apple juice, it's easy enough to do, and yeah, there is that. So I should be able to do this, hopefully. No, is he not going to let me hammer it? Coal, uses, and then on a hammering table, I thought I'd seen it on a hammering table. Wow, there's a lot of different machines you can put this through. No, how about, let's just go back through here. Basic plating, graphite dust, nuclear craft. Yes, there we go. So graphite ingot is what we want, I think. Or graphite bar. Is that just, no. Graphite ingot. It's in here somewhere. Oh, we'll just basically convert coal first. Okay, fine. No wonder it's not hammering. Fine, we just need to dump coal into the other slot, into this one, and let it cook that up, and we'll just convert it all over, because you get free coal when you're actually sieving gravel. So that's very useful, and it's what I use around the back just to feed the furnace. It's run out now, so I have infinite sticks. I technically don't need to actually use the coal anymore. So the amount of sticks I get out of these is just ridiculous. This one's full already. So I guess I could just take all of the stacks of sticks out of here and just dump them into the back of the furnace. That would do the job just fine for any period of time. Or indeed planks or anything else. I've just got a lot of wood available. So, is that now available? Yeah, that's now graphite ingot. So we should be able to take that across. And graphite. And are you going to let me hammer you now? Yep. So that should be just about enough with the rest of the plates in here, basic plating with that and some lead. And we'll get us those core plating. So 1, 2, 3, 4 lead, and then that will just get us the plating. Yep, so that's 4. So that's enough for 1 infinite water, a couple of pieces of tin, and a couple of buckets full of water. So we'll get rid of this infinite water, well, the 2x2 soon. I just like to do the 2x2 over the 1x3 just because I can click anywhere and not have to worry about it not being an infinite water source anymore. Kind of handy for that kind of thing. A couple of pieces of tin, was it? Tin is there. Was it tin? Looks like it. Infinite water. So the infinite water will then let us dump that basically into something. This is what I've got these set up for. There's a hopper underneath which feeds into this. So all we really need to do is have these have water. And you see water pops in here. And then all we then need is another hopper to the front. And we can then convert over our dust into clay. So if we get that, I've got a hopper in my inventory. So if we pop over here, you can put these wherever you like, but I just put them into the front. And you could put another basic drawer on top if you liked. Just let you see the when you're out of stuff. Okay, but I'm just going to dump dust in. and it should convert over straight into clay, and you don't have to do anything about it. So all of the, literally all of the recipes here that you want, yeah, that's converting over, and that water is actually coming in pretty fast. All of the ones you want through these barrels, the different recipes, you want to have at least one set up to do them passively. You'd feed into the top, it comes out the bottom, cool. And the same thing is true for other recipes too. There is a list on a wiki somewhere, I can never remember all of them, but definitely one of them is witch water. And that's the other thing we need for that soul sand, which we also need. So witch water goes through mycelium. Mycelium comes out of here somewhere. Converts over from mycelium, but no, I think there's an item transform. Yeah, we can get it directly from water, which is good because that's what we're going to be doing with ancient spores. And if you get ancient spores, you get them from dirt, sieving, through string mesh, and I've not got any string mesh at the moment, unfortunately. That's why I say you need some kind of previous tiers sometimes. However, I did make the auto-generating dirt, so I've got 4 stacks. I can sieve once I have more string meshes made. Unfortunately, string, I don't think we can make it any other way than the early game way, which is just basically to crook it off a tree. Oh, hang on. We can make spiderweb saplings. That might be useful to have. And that is just 3 string and 1 sapling. So, 3 string. Well, we've got plenty of string. I don't want to use it all up. I want to change some of these out, I think, just to do this. So, a couple down here, just how, well, let's face it. 3 down here will do just fine. Drop a hopping bonsai pot in, the earth back in. Not what I wanted. We're going to have to take some of this out. What was this made from? What was this made from? Hopping bonsai pot, spider web sapling. It drops the saplings. So if I take out the oak leaves, it should give us everything else that we actually need, including more saplings should we actually want them to be generated. So from here, I'm going to take out everything like these 2, this one, and this one, and that should be everything we need. So lots and lots and lots of apples. Convert them over. Spiderwig sapling, and then we can just dump them into here. So they should start passively generating string. Let's just break that up into a couple of stacks just so I can occupy these spaces. And then the last one out here should either be string or leaves, and I just remove the leaves until the string occupies the slot, and these will continue to just produce like, well, like that, I guess. So yeah, 3 string, easy enough to do. Did check. Can't basically make Yellorium blocks this way, so I'm going to have to go via the factorizer. Unfortunately, I don't normally use them, but you can cast out a gear cast as normal with Tinkers. I'm using gold instead of having to alloy anything together. That way I need to separate these by 1 to get an alloy tank in the middle. That's probably going to be needed when I get to Allomite for nether mining, maybe? That should be fine. And gear cast. So yeah, I can now make copper gears and iron gears. And we can just grab a few of that. Whoops, not gold, not you. 4. I think it's going to be 4 each. That's going to be perfectly fine. Let's dump those in, and let's drop that in there. Hopefully that will do the job. So yeah, I'll use that to make the factorizer. And there's basically our factorizer. Yep, in it goes. That's all done. And I'll dump this down over here next to my sink. Yep, and we can then hopefully convert Yellorium over into the block. So I've got 16 of it, we need 9 of it. Yeah, there we go. And you can convert. Yep, immediately. That can then replace this torch to speed things up by 20 times for that. Okay, and that should be going faster. Yes, it is. Good. So I've now put... Oops, I need to put a torch up there. Otherwise, things might get a little bit spooky. I'm going to extend this outward so we can get some casting alloys done in here. And if we need to, which we do need to, I have already cast out the pickaxe, which is well, the pickaxe head pattern. And then we can use that. So let's get a tank. We need another tank for the middle, I think. And that should do as well. So if we just put everything back, there we go. I normally would raise this up as well so they can dump into a chest. But fine, I guess, for the moment. We can always fix it later. And there we go for the tech casting table if we need it. Well, we need the center alloy tank. Okay, 2 tanks. We want to convert one of them over into a, well, I thought, ooh, unfired. I need to fire those. I'm going to convert one of them over into the alloy tank. So let's just put that in there and that in there. That should be done in a quick jiffy. Then combine them both together, put them in the middle, and hopefully that's how I remember it working. Other thing we're going to do here as well, on the left here, it's got the special version of this. We've got a stone barrel here. It's specifically for lava. And because we've put water on top, that converts lava into obsidian, which is going to drop into here. We'll rearrange these later. They're good enough for now because we've got plentiful supply of lava here. I can just make sure that that will continue to get supplied. Let's just put that in there. One thing I'm missing, which may need recommendations, if you want to make a recommendation, put it down below, is a piping system. Let's just see if there's any early pipes available. Is there any early pipes? Fluid pipes? No. Sealable pipe. Iron pipes? Magnetic craft? Yeah, that may do it. And hopefully that will then carry lava. Yeah, may want to convert things to stone before I actually try that. Okay, Arp Force, it should be done. Let's see if that's all sorted. Yes, I've got 3 of them. I don't need 2. I had 1 there already, presumably. And that is that. So, 1 heater tank. And then we have a porcelain alloy tank in the middle. And presumably, is there any kind of... I don't think there's any kind of user interface in this thing. We're going to need to alloy things from left and right, and the one I'm looking for future use is Allomite. And if we look at alloying in the porcelain alloy tank, it needs obsidian, it needs iron, it needs aluminium. We've got all 3 of those. So if I just get some obsidian through here, obsidian, okay, and we'll do that again. Cool, and I should be able to go grab those back out. Obsidian, and of course we can now make a nether portal, but I'm not doing that for this just yet. Are you hot enough to melt obsidian? I need to go and refill the various different things. So refill you, and refill you, and you're fine. Will you melt this? We need some iron in the left one. I don't know the exact ratios. We can always destroy the tanks and then the top section of the melters and recreate them. So I already had some iron in my inventory. Just have got a couple of ingots in there, and the last one was aluminium, which is also getting from sifting. So aluminium, I've got 1 there. I think they're all in the back. I think I've not taken them out yet. Aluminium, yeah, full stack. So a few of those. Dump those in as well, and see if this actually works. So 1 on this side. I'll add another one in a second. I'll put 1 in there, in fact. Let's see if these combine in the middle at some point, and then we can just cast them out into Allomite, or indeed Allomite blocks. In this case, however, what I really actually want is a pickaxe head, assuming that that will work. There we go. In fact, I do have an extra porcelain faucet. Okay, that does go there. It does go here, but it's not going into the center. That's probably because I've forgotten how this actually works. Okay, I need to double check. It may have to go down 1. I can never remember how this works. But that in case, that would mean that everything else has to go down 1. Let me just do a bit of playing around. And let me just test that with the heater instead of a tank underneath. I would have thought the tank would have worked, but hey, we'll give that a go as well and see if these feed into each other, assuming that they will at some point. And I may have to test it, but hey, we'll keep on going. It wasn't working, and it's nothing to, well, it may not have anything to do with the tank. I put a solid fuel heater under the bottom, but even with that, nothing was happening. So I assumed that it would be just the fact that there's 3 things being alloyed. So I put this extra setup at the back. This one does iron, or has some iron in it. This one has, well, it did have some aluminium in it. I'll put some more aluminium in place. And then you can see in the front, it is being converted into Allomite with the obsidian from this side. So that is now working, and we should be able to pour it into the head. And that might not be quite enough just yet, but that will get me an Allomite head, which is cobalt mining tier, and away we go for any nether ores. With that done, we've got the Allomite. Upgraded all of our tools to Allomite, even though the broadsword isn't needed. or at least it isn't needed in Allomite tier. And the other two is perfectly fine. Just it's an upgrade of sorts. And that's going to do for now. So from that, you can see there they're mining level cobalt, as I said before, and that's pretty good. Anyway, from there, I then put in a second crucible in place. You can see it has one bucket in it. I did use this fluid pipe from Immersive Engineering. Does not extract out of the side of the crucible. So I thought we'd try the next thing up, which would be a flux duct. Not flux duct, whoops, fluid duct. And do be careful when you're using these that you don't choose the default tiers, which will explode if anything hot hits them, like, for example, lava. You need a couple of ingots of invar and one of lead. I happen to just create some invar with the same setup, so that is easy enough done. And there we go. We have 24 hardened fluid duct, opaque versions. I don't really care about the contents of them just yet. We also may need a servo on them, I would have thought. Just a regular servo would be fine, so that's just some glass. Let's just make a few, and let's get a few pieces of that. Get those in, and some servos, please. Oops, need the redstone, the important actual servo bit. There we go. Okay, so we've got 4 servos. So let's give that a try, see if you now actually work. So let's put you in here. It has connected to both sides. That's a good sign. There's the servo. And then we can just say, I'd like it enabled all the time, please. That should extract into here, which gets produced into obsidian. So, yep. And that's all automatic, of course. You can then just do the same thing here that we've done elsewhere. I need to just grab you for a second, move you over there. Get myself a hopper, which, hey, for now, I'm just going to grab you. Put that in there, and then we can just reproduce this on top of that, and it'll start producing endless amounts of lava, which will be endless amounts of obsidian. So yeah, that's particularly easy to actually make. For the moment, I'm just going to grab a few stacks and just dump them in there like that, and away it goes. So that gets us our obsidian, which we then are able to use to get to the nether, potentially. Assuming that flint and steel isn't terribly... this is normally the point at which I find out flint and steel is awful. Yeah, it requires steel, but that's not the only way to make a nether portal. There are other ways around that, I'm going to say. So, yeah. I'm going to just go and grab... Unless this is easy. No, it's... No. We're not going to get to Dawnstone. Some kind of steel, please. Steel ingot. Steel ingot. I want the Tinker's one, please. Anything from Tinker's? No, there really, really isn't anything from there. Okay, we'll have to use the alternate way of getting through the nether portal. And in turn, that means everything in these can actually be linked together by using item ducts, opaque as normal. And hopefully this one will stay the last thing it tries. I may have to remove, well, basically rearrange stuff and get to a higher tier to explicitly do that, but everything now is actually connected to these hoppers at the bottom. They don't even need to be hoppers anymore, but I was lazy. And yeah, everything is now set up, so yeah, they're all going that way. And we can improve some of these other things as well with item duct and fluid duct, as we have both of them available. Next up is heading to the nether. However, that's going to have to wait for another time because we've hit the half-an-hour mark. Yes, I know, a bit of a tease, but, you know, rather get it done in one episode. Head over there. We're going to be going for some nether quartz. We're going to go for some cobalt, ardite, the usual kind of stuff you go into the nether for, and maybe get some different picks that are for experience only, and then we'll just use excavation to basically level them up. Stuff like that will be very, very handy going forwards. Anyway, that's all done. I need to go and make that string mesh and get that sort of sorted for witch water, or maybe I'll just collect some soul sand in the nether. Either way around, you've got a place to actually go, and then you can convert over into nether quartz if you want to. But we've got the Allomite stuff ready, so we're pretty much ready to go. If you enjoyed the episode, give it a thumbs up down below, and of course do make those suggestions on what kind of games you'd like to see coming up, and of course I'll add them to the list if there's anything of particular interest. Otherwise, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.